So here we are at Clare Hall, Collegiate College of Cambridge University. I'm joined by one of the stars of the day, Olinga. Olinga, could you give us a little bit about your background and how you've ended up being here today?
Sure. So my name is Olinga. I am the Director of the Centre for Citizenship, Enterprise and Governance. We organise the day today. We formed an association called the Internet of Value Blockchain Alliance for Good. And we have around 50,000 members, including 7,000 of the biggest companies in the world and 2,000 politicians and about 100 billionaires.
100 billionaires?
Over 100. So I can name you Hinduja, Lakshmi Mittal in this country, Modi. Yeah, so we're very fortunate that we have attracted, it's bigger agenda than blockchain, I should say. So it's not just blockchain. It's anything, our think tank is a not-for-profit. It's about the movement of value. So how value moves. And we have around, as I said, around 50,000 members, but it's kind of established itself by then coming out with instruments to measure value. Mm-hmm. And we put that into a trading arm called SEratio, that's SEratio, and through SEratio we provide the metrics to measure value for lots of laws. In this country, in the UK, the Social Value Act, Modern Slavery Act, and all around the world, they're moving value from the private sector into the community through the NGO space. It's a blended model because the public sector cannot afford to do it anymore. So they bring in instruments to do that value change and movement. And to do that, they need it measured. So we underpin lots of laws with our very fast metrics. So we'll measure organizational value in around 10 seconds and personal value in 60 seconds without even talking to the company.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I guess you're the ideal person to ask then, what stood out for you today? Because we've had some great speakers and some great ideas being posed.
It was, I would honestly say, like the pinnacle of what we've been trying to do for 5 years. So if you imagine I'm a guy who retired some 10 years ago from a private sector background, and I did the whole thing, and I had the T-shirt and all the thing that goes with it, all the trappings. And for 5 years, I've been measuring value. I've been, I came out with a metric called the social earnings ratio. I've spoken to the Pope. I have, you can see my speeches on YouTube to the Pope, etc. But I didn't know how to transact value. I could measure it. I can use it for underpinning legislation, but I didn't know how I could take the value I have to you. If I love you, how do I transact that value from me to you? Mm-hmm. And what's happened is that it was the Internet of Value, blockchain as a transporter, that has allowed us to do that. So we literally came across this idea only at the end of June. We wrote our first paper literally 26th of October, a few days ago. Oh, wow. Absolutely. We signed the big thing that you saw today with to bring out an Islamic currency that transacts not only cash, but also belief systems in one coin. And we only signed that in that same space. And 7 days, a 50-50 joint venture. And we've now been asked to do the same thing with Jewish coin. We've been asked to do the same thing for carers of the world. I'm a carer. I look after my daughter who has mental health issues. And I'm a foster care, emergency foster care. So people like me are unrecognized. We do things for free. We do things because we love. But we need to be recognized and transact that recognition.
And this is really the Web 3.0 that we've talked about, and reputational coins. So, how do you codify love? How do you codify these ideas? And this is really what you're getting to the heart of.
It is. And to be honest, we did two things. We digitized value, okay, and then we converted sentiment into financial value. Now, that sounds abhorrent. I love you, £4.50, doesn't sound great, okay? But you have to be able to convert sentiment to financial value because lots of laws in this country and around the world are based on financial value. So they're not interested in having how many upvotes you had or karmas on Reddit. They want to know what's the value of it so that they can give you a contract or not to you, not to them. They should buy this, not this, to this. It's financial value as the king. So unless you can articulate value in the language of the world, which is currency, and financial value, then unfortunately you're not there. So what we have done is brought that idea, that central idea of what we've always done for 5 years, and we are a very big noise in a very small pond of social innovation. We're kind of leaders in leading think tanks in the world in this area, etc. But social innovation, frankly, no one gives a damn. It's a very small sector. Doing good is not hot subject. Currency and fintech is hot. And so all we have done is taken that theory, and it was as if, and I'll be honest, it was as if I had designed it, this theory, as if I had designed it on day one in 2011 for this application. The fact that you can transact value using your values. Mm-hmm. And so today was our first testing of how the public would view it. The final draft of the paper was the 30th of October. Today we're here, and we want to see what people said. And I think it went very well.
I think it went excellently. One more question. I'm part of HackerGold. We have our own token, HackerGold, and although that has some, financial value because people obviously obtain it by using Bitcoin, for me it's more about the reputation of maybe me sending you my token, and if your successful startup goes on, my reputation grows because I highlighted you, I picked you, and vice versa. You obtain more HackerGold because more fans like you, we can all see that you're the guy who wins. My only problem with this is that we always seem to put our old philosophy onto the new technology.
Right.
So how are we going to get over this with these ideas of tokenization of the world?
Right. So I think the problem, even the language you use, is a problem.
Yep.
All right. And that it is a challenge. And so the fact is that is not really the value you get from it. The real value you get from your hackathons that you've created is that you have enabled a group of people to do better things, good things, and feel better themselves. That's the real things that we need to codify. It's not the tokens, and I got 3 tokens from you, and a gold token, an upvote, and a karma, and that. You have absolutely brought happiness to these people's lives, and there's no doubt about it. So our job is to codify that and reward you for it, okay, in real things. Not in, a virtual currency that you can't spend at Tesco's or John Lewis, but you should be able to take that to Starbucks and say, I'll pay you $8 for that $10 thing, and here's $2 of my gold coin, right? And they should be able to receive it. Mm-hmm. And that's the transactional value you've created. So don't underestimate the great things you've done in the hackathon world. You've done amazing things to bring in communities of people together who are ostensibly in their bedrooms, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and you have enabled these guys and women to to come out and feel part of a community. And so should be rewarded in this world.
Oh, thank you very much. I said that was the last question. I've got one more for you. What are your thoughts moving forward? What do you see over the next maybe 6 months, year, pushing out to maybe 18 months? Because I think past that, nobody can really tell.
No, I can't. I don't even know if I'll be alive tomorrow, right? So,
yeah.
So I guess, we are very focused. We're interested in structural change. We're not interested in just writing papers. We're not interested in hackathon, just a hackathon or a proof of concept and bores me to tears. What we want are real, scalable, and sustainable solutions. So we now know, we feel, and I'm not a Muslim, but we feel that the Islamic coin has got real scalability and sustainability to 1.9 billion people. That is a great way to demonstrate if what we're saying is nonsense or works. And so our focus is right now. And it's hard because we're now getting approached by people from all over the world, literally all over the world. The gentleman you met, Chandler Guo, today, is the first time he's out of China. He came for our conference first and then decided to have a look around, go elsewhere. But so we're honored by the people and the sheikh who came today, by people we brought together, including yourselves. And the point now is to make sure it actually works in the field. Without it, this will be yet another video, and we've all seen videos.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for today. Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.